You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, we are YBM Chat Podcast. Instagram at YBM Chat. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts at YBM Chat. Hey, it's Dashia D.
Hey, it's Cassondra.
It's Tre'Dub here.
And it's your girl, LadiiNova.
And we are
YBM Chat.
young young Black millennials offering you a fresh take you didn't know you needed.
Boy!
So, starting us off, we're going to go with Keyshia Cole and OT Genasis. I don't know why I want to say a bunch of letters. All these letters is confusing the hell out of me. But, so he remade or covered her song Love. I think it was hilarious. I certainly enjoyed it for the most part, for humor reasons. But Keyshia Cole doesn't find it too funny. So she wants to take her music down and, let you all have trash ass sample that you all love. And she's kind of in her feelings about it. Now, I don't see the point, but then again, I'm not an artist on that standpoint, so I wouldn't get what it's like to have somebody take like my music. What do you guys think? Tre'Dub.
Now I love Keyshia Cole to death. Well, of course, I loved her more back then when she was actually making shit. So, so anyway, as far as the cover, I agree with Megan. I thought it was just something like a parody kind of thing, and it was funny for us or whatever. And then when I saw the video of Keyshia Cole actually saying that she doesn't want anyone doing like covers or remixes, I understand that simply because that's her biggest song yet. And I can understand that, for a song that had that had that much magnitude back then, I can understand why she doesn't want anyone kind of like, mimicking that or but basically like kind of taking away from her accolades without her getting a check for it. Because I mean, that is her biggest song. That's probably like the only income that she's getting currently. So I mean, I don't blame her for having those feelings. So yeah, that's my thing about it. Rashay?
Yeah, I said that too. I feel like people might not know that song is a cover by her, so they might think, oh, this is some beat that he made up. And yeah, he's joking about it, but at the same time, like, these kids might think, oh, it's just some random beat he has. You know what I mean? And so for me, it'd be like, okay, well, that's my song. People won't know that's my beat. Let me get paid for it, or at least ask my permission to use it. And then I know people can argue and say, oh, well, they have all these samples, but you never know what goes on like in the back end of it. People might have asked permission for, or they might have already paid for that sample to use it. I mean, but maybe he thought, oh, I didn't have to since this was a joke. But I mean, I agree with her. I would be upset too.
I mean, I think I agree that yes, she should definitely be paid for it if he's going to sample her music. But I also feel like maybe that would be an opportunity for the younger generation to then go look more at her music, since she hasn't been making music currently, I don't think. And just kind of, I don't want to say make her relevant again, because she's still relevant, but just, going back and looking at her musical catalog, I guess.
I mean, people gonna do what they want because, like Cassandra said before, like Drake had a song and everybody thought it was his song, but it was Lauryn Hill. But then it's like, is it Lauryn Hill's song? No, it's not. It's Roberta Flack's song. So it's just something that happens in the music industry. Either you get the rights to it or you don't. Because I love Tink, but who does she ask for like permission to get or to sample Aaliyah's song?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if she went to the family. We don't know if she went through Timberland or anybody else because Aaliyah's not here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People just do a lot. Yeah, she should get her money, but again, like how many people is gonna do this? Because how much shit has Jacquees done sampled?
A lot.
He ain't sample, he just took.
And I was going to say, like,
Horribly trashed a lot of it. So
yeah, and I was going to say, kind of to wrap this up, like the last, and it just came to my mind that SWV sampled Michael Jackson's "Human Nature," and mind you, that song was what, early '90s.
I didn't think about that.
So that thing's been going on for centuries, damn near.
But people still love Michael Jackson. They don't take away from Human Nature, but they still listen to Right Here. It's
by Chris Brown.
Both.
Yeah.
Either they're gonna like your song or they're not. It shit just happens.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, I do understand at the end of the day, like, you know, in Keisha Cole's case, like, that, again, that's probably her only stream of income. You know, that one song. So it's like,
she gotta let it go.
Missy Elliott, I love this song.
Technically,
when this
that's
song
Missy's
comes
song.
on in the club, they're gonna be like, that song?
Isn't that Missy's song though?
No, that's her song. Missy's on it, her and Kim.
That's Keisha Cole's song.
Okay, well, anywho.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but
see, we're just discussing her music now, so that gives people like, let me go check it out. Let me go see what she actually has there. I'm just saying.
We tell that's Keisha, but anywho. So the next in this case, girl ye that we're going to discuss is Kim Kardashian. So she recently posted she recently posted on her Instagram or on her social media of her pose for a magazine where she's definitely appearing more dark-skinned than usual. So I'm sure you guys will definitely see it in the preview that's playing right now. That definitely it's been definitely a big issue with this because she has been accused of proclaiming the blackface.
That's what I first thought when I saw that.
Okay, and I'll start with Cassondra on this one. So, proceed.
We'll get scared.
Okay.
Right. We waiting for you.
So when I first saw it, I couldn't tell if she was like purposely trying to mimic somebody. Was this supposed to be her like doing, like, was she? I didn't see anything on it. Was she trying to be somebody else? Was this like a dress like somebody else type photo shoot? I didn't find anything on that, but I was like, maybe I missed something. You know what I mean? Because when I first saw it, I was like, this is completely blackface. You know, this is modern day blackface. You're trying to appear as an African American woman. I mean, you got the dark skin, the full lips, the dark hair. You know, she does not look like that. I can see if like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, like, and I was going to answer your question if she was like kind of like mimicking somebody or trying to interpret like a character or something like that. So I was reading through the comments and like kind of doing a little background on it. Apparently she was imitating or paying homage to a Joan Collins from Dynasty. Never watched the show or whatever, so I have no idea who that is or what the character was about. But obviously a lot of people was offended by the fact that she culturally appropriates things like this. But continue.
I mean, I just feel like, and this might sound bad, but you don't get to be African American when you want to be because it looks nice on the cover of a magazine. But then at the end of the day, she goes home and washes that off. And at the end of the day, she's a white woman. You know what I mean? I think that's why I got so offended by it, because what are you trying to prove? People got mad at, what's the girl name? Lil Kim for doing that too, because now she looks 100% different. And she looks like a white woman. So it's like, just be who you are. But no, when Kim Kardashian did, I was like, what's the point? I think it's rude. I don't like it.
LadiiNova, what do you think about this debacle?
I try not to think about these people like at all. I really had to go and look up Joan Collins because that was the first time I was hearing that.
I did the same
And
thing.
this is clearly a white woman. I don't see not a black person on this, so there was no need for her to make her skin appear a darker shade when this is very much so a Caucasian woman with not a hint of a tan. I'm seeing pale all day long through my Google searches. So I don't want to hear any of that. Some of the people in the comments were pissing me off because they were trying to say, oh, well, she's Armenian. Okay, let's take a look back at how they used to look before they had money.
Okay.
Their complexion did not change. They were still very white looking, in my opinion, just had bushier eyebrows and different features. Their skin was not close to mine. It was not close to Beyonce's, in which I don't see their obsession with that family. But I just think something is really wrong with them. Like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you just being who you are? And for the other people that was trying to make it seem like, oh, don't put 100 on 10, you're the reason why the bitch keep doing this. Because y'all don't see nothing wrong with what she's doing and you keep hyping her ass up.
So, LadiiNova, I'm glad you said that because that's something else that definitely I think is the main reason they did it. It's for relevancy. Because she knew people would talk about this. You know what I mean? I feel like that family does such bogus stuff to where they know it'll get talked about. And like we was talking earlier about she got robbed and then she had married Kanye West and now she got 3 kids and you know, like stuff like that. So it's always something. I feel like they do stuff that they know will get people talking. You know what I mean? Just to stay relevant in the media, really.
Miss Dashia D.
If I'm honest, I hadn't heard about the story because I just haven't really been on social media like that. And when I saw the picture, I couldn't recognize her, to be honest. Are we surprised?
Nope.
That's just my general question. Are we surprised by this? I feel like at this point we know that this is what they do. I don't feel the need to give it a lot of energy, to be honest, because they know that it's an issue. And I feel like if you know something has been an issue for you, then you would be very cautious about what you post and what you put out on a public forum. And clearly, by them continuously doing the same thing, they don't care enough to be that conscious about it. So I just don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I watched a video and I sent it to y'all of Amanda Seales, and she talks at great lengths about it. I might try to post it on our page, but like one of the things that she said was that they want our rhythm but not our blues, and it's so true. Just like Cassondra said, we can't pick and choose when we want to be black. This is who we are. This is how we look, whether we like it or not. And I feel like they get to pick and choose, okay, I want to wear some cornrows today and call it boxer braids, or I want to throw on a do-rag and say that it's chic today. I don't know. It's just...
on it.
It's just irritating that they get to pick and choose, I want to do this, but then I don't speak up when it's certain social issues that's happening that is specifically relevant for the Black community. I'm not going to speak up then, even though I have a Black boyfriend and Black children, but I'll throw on these cornrows and this do-rag to look cute for this picture or this post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
I just want the same energy. I want the same energy it took for you to get in your little outfit. I want the same energy when something is happening socially.
And it's not going to be that. Because it's always like a thing of looks. And I'm thinking back on it as like in the 90s, females were always small, like Black females, small frame, get bigger. Like time went on, more hips and ass, lips and all of that stuff. And it was just like looked down upon. Now these bitches is injecting their lips, doing everything to have the ass, and just doing everything that we do or have naturally, that we don't try to be like, oh, let me come up with something. It's just something that we do. It's just something that we are. It just is us. It's like, well, we don't have that. How do we get that? Well, you can't. Stop trying to have it.
And then also, they got all these black people around, these black men. Why are they not checking them? That's it. Why are they not checking them? Why are they allowing it to continue to go on?
Well, Kanye's not gonna do it. That's why she's doing this little fake law shit, because he's out here doing this dumb shit and with the coonery and whatever else he's doing to try to make himself seem like he's above everything. I honestly feel like that's why she's doing this thing of getting people out, in which it's not her that's getting people out. She's just the face that people knows, when it's really nothing but purebred Black women who actually went to law school for years and know what it's like to try to pass the bar and all the other stuff, that is getting these people out of jail. It's not Kim Kardashian. Because who do you know that just is like, oh, I'm in law school. Oh, I got a degree. What?
They all
Where did
stressed
that
over that
come
boy
from?
exam.
Like,
All of
where in
them.
the hell did that come from at all? So I just feel like she's doing this stuff to try to clean up for the stupid shit that Kanye is doing, and they both just look dumb. Like, I'm not falling for either one of your games. I'm not going to fall in, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, where you're hit. Because somebody said that in the comments was like, she's doing more for the blacks and the blacks. What the fuck is she doing for me? Because I still got student loans, and even if she did pay my student loans, I'm still not going to be here for her because I'm sick of them.
Listen,
no amount of money is gonna let me allow you to keep stealing shit from my culture. It's not.
And not even pay homage at all.
So I wasn't homage to anyone that.
But that's what I was saying. If she was attempting to dress up as like Diana Ross or somebody, then I could have been like, okay, well, she's trying to mimic somebody. She did a great job. But for her to just completely do this on her own and say, oh, this is how I am. No, it's not okay.
But still, we've made it very evident that you can pay homage to people and not have to put on blackface.
Definitely. Like, I personally saw the picture and was like, even when the caption said it was Kim Kardashian, I'm still looking to find her. And I'm sitting here like, this was not you years ago when your family first became famous back during the sex tape.
You know, her last year. Shoot.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. And back to the whole Amanda Seales video, responding to that thing or whatever, I was kind of halfway with it because she mentioned the whole blackface thing. I would say I wouldn't go as far as to say that it was the whole blackface thing. But what I didn't like, and Daisha really hit the head on it about my feelings about it, was that it's rare that the shoe is on the other foot when they do things related to Black culture, and they get praised for that. But if the shoe was on the other foot, then we'll get labeled as, oh, well, the Kardashians did it first, or they originated that, and we just kind of, mimic them. It's dumb. And, like I said, my issues really with the whole family, because they really, culturally appropriate like things like that and make it seem like they're original. I don't like that at all. And I kind of agree with Cassondra on the other side, where she's saying that I feel like at this point they just do whatever just to stay relevant. They had so many scandals, they had so many things related to the media that's kind of kept them in the limelight. The whole Jordan Woods situation, the whole pretty much every boyfriend or husband or baby daddy that's come in that damn family. Like, I don't know, but that's kind of my whole thing with that. And literally, like, Daisha, Cassondra, and Amanda Seales hit the head when they was talking about how they definitely steal our rhythm, but don't want our blues. When I say that thing spoke so deep to me, I was like, at this point, you done took me on a whole roller coaster. I loved it.
That's the biggest thing that hit, because like as soon as she said that, I'm thinking of everything that we all go through on a regular basis just from being born with this skin color. And it's all like, you see it on like TV programs, you hear, and it's like, oh, I love everything you do, and I just want to be like you. It's one thing when a kid says it. You're a child.
Yeah.
You don't know any better. That's your best friend. You're young, whatever. But you as an adult, you know what's going on, and you know how the world view us. Like, I'm about to be real childish, but we are the world. I don't think that had nothing to do with y'all, because y'all ain't did shit to build this world up. You did nothing. You did not add anything to this world. I'm about to be even pettier and talk about something that does and does not deal with this. Fucking Wakanda. What happened over in Wakanda? They had all of the stuff. They had all the herbs and ways to bring people back. Who was all over there? Black people. And they wanted to try to bring it where? That's just me. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, like Daisha said, I really want those same people who are like Kim Kardashian and their family to have that same energy when stuff like blacks getting killed by cops happen.
They won't.
I want them to keep that same energy when stuff like that happens, because I highly doubt that they'll be, beating the same tune, like this shit here. So
if we all were to go to another fucking planet, all the black people go to another planet, honey, they would be lost up the creek without a paddle. And I mean, see people say that. I have seen people say that on social media, like, and people make it as a joke, but I'm like, y'all really think that? Everybody's like, we're gonna say all the black people, and we will go over here, and you have white people like, yeah, no, I want seasoning on my food. I'm going with y'all. I can't be over here. I gotta be where y'all at. No, y'all take everything that we do and you market off of it. Again, Rihanna comes out with her makeup and she does it literally for everybody. How long has CoverGirl been out and they didn't think about that? And then here comes Kylie. Oh, I got makeup for all shades. Girl, please. You don't even know what shade you want to be.
So at this point, it's like, girly. So I'm really just I was just really over it. Like, I really was. I was just over the whole family in general. So anyway, that wraps up Boy as we move into our topic. So as we approach towards the end of this decade, not this year, but this decade, we definitely want to kind of talk about the highlights and also the downfalls of this year. And definitely want to talk about what's going on and what we have planned for the new year. So my question for each and every one of you is one thing. I also want to do some follow-up questions after that. So my first question for y'all is, what was your biggest accomplishment this year? Let's start with Daisha.
I knew it. So my biggest accomplishment this year, I would say, is definitely graduating from grad school. Thank you. So it was 2 years of just hard work, sleep deprivation, days of just not being sure if this is the right decision and all of those things. But I got through it. I made it. I graduated in May, and then I think a week later, something like that. A week later, I passed my licensure exam, so that kind of coincides with that. So yeah.
Whoop, whoop. All right, Miss Megan, what was your biggest accomplishment? Excuse me, this year? Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I guess getting back into school to accomplish my graduate degree. I had put that off for quite some time, and I'm finally doing it.
Woohoo! That's a good accomplishment. See?
Yeah.
You got to celebrate the small things, shawty.
I'm still working on that, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's really the biggest accomplishment of this year, because it was something that I put off for so long. I wanted to give myself a year after undergrad, but that didn't work. So for whatever reasons. And then I finally took the steps to do it. I'm in it, and it's a road that I'm going down. It's kind of wavery, but I'm gonna finish because I don't have money to waste.
I know
And
that's
it's not
right.
a race, it's your life. Just do it at your own pace. Nobody's rushing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Miss Cassondra, what was your biggest accomplishment this year?
Can I just say this for all of us? This big accomplishment for us all is this podcast. We should give ourselves a hand clap because this is a big deal. Like, I'm proud of us. I was about to say,
Hashtag running out.
Okay. Oh boy.
but my personal accomplishment is taking a step toward owning my own business. So I have my LLC and everything, and that's in the process of being built right now. So I think that's a big accomplishment for me. And if anybody knows me, they know, especially Dashia. And I'll be like, I don't want to do it. I'm scared. And Dashia was like, just do it. And I'll be like, I don't want to. I'm nervous. So that was a big accomplishment for me.
Yeah. So my biggest accomplishment was definitely getting the job that I have now here in Atlanta. And the reason why it is my biggest this year is because it really was a jump start for me to really do what is it that I really want to do as far as my long-term goals. So that was a big accomplishment for me, other than this awesome ass podcast.
Woo-hoo!
Like, dead ass. I would never thought that I would be this open to talking about the things that we've been talking about to the world. Like, seriously. So that's something that's I really appreciate, and I feel is a big accomplishment for me. And I'm definitely so happy that I personally decided to be a part of this. So yeah. So my next question for you guys is, what, on the other hand, was your biggest challenge, and how were you able to overcome that challenge, and what did you learn? So it's probably all one question, but yeah. So Dashia, what was your biggest challenge, and what did you learn from that situation?
Ooh, okay. I think I'm still learning. I'll just say that. But
Okay.
I think my greatest challenge this year has just been transitioning into adulthood. So, like I said, I graduated from grad school at the start of May. I was offered my first full-time job in my career a week later. So,
A blessing, first of all.
it really is. But then it kind of sets in because I moved to a completely different state by June, right? And then I start this job in a new place, living on my own truly for the first time, paying bills, all of that adulting stuff. And it's scary. And I think sometimes you kind of have a little self-doubt. You're like, okay, can I do this? Can I be away from family? How am I going to function? So all of that has been my greatest challenge. And like I said, I think that I'm still learning how to navigate my way through. But I mean, 6 months in, I think what I've learned thus far is that I can do hard things. I can do hard things and make it out and know that I got me, So.
Oh, I love that.
Me too. Me too. LadiiNova.
So I'm gonna have to agree with Dashia D. The biggest challenge was stepping into adulthood and dealing with adult situations like an adult. This paying bills thing is not easy.
It's
I
ghetto as hell.
It really is. I really had to
Either.
learn how to put my pride aside at some points and ask family for help, even though I've always wanted to be the person to say I got it. But if anything, I'd have to say, if anybody knows me and the way I think and how my mouth can be at times, is to take the high road. Because I've had myself in some situations where I thought I had a friend, I thought I had somebody that was there to help, and it kind of just went away. And at times I still find myself thinking about it because it's like I honestly don't know what I could have done for you to treat me in the way that you did. And I won't lie, I know I said some things, but that was because it was so much pent up before that. And I'm the type of person, at times I don't want to be reckless with certain people because I feel like life is going to be more with you. I see like we could actually build on something if you allow it to happen. So I try to not say certain things, but at that point I was at a crossroads and I know I said some reckless stuff and it just went downhill from there. And I found myself in this box where I was by myself and I just had to deal with it. I had to figure out how I was going to get myself out of the situation, how I was going to move forward and not be in a depressed state. Can't lie, that was some of the hardest stuff that I had to go through, of trying to figure out how to dig myself out of a hole that I had created for myself. But taking the high road, people always make it seem like it's easy, and it's not, because again, like I said, I know I said some reckless stuff, but I know me. I could have went further. There were other people where situations happened and I just wanted to explode and I wanted to be pissed off and just say any and everything because I felt like I'd been quiet for too long. But I just had to let it go and let it be what it is. And once I put myself in like that quiet state, of course I had to be quiet. Doing my parents taught me was sit still somewhere, pray, actually listen for an answer. Got those answers, and once I did, I started seeing like how other people's lives weren't going as they put for social media.
Mm-hmm.
How they were praying for my downfall. I'm over here making things happen where other people are looking like, how are you able to do this, but you don't have this, this, and this, or your people's not giving you this, this, and this. And it's like, I don't ask questions. I just let it be what it is, leave it in God's hand, and I move forward.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Miss Cassondra.
My biggest challenge for this past year is was being professionally confident. I think for me, it's just, I'm always nervous about like, am I good enough? Am I qualified enough? Can I do this? And mainly for my business, it's like, I want to do this, but why would somebody pay me 20 an hour when they can hire a high school student and pay them 10, you know? So it's like trying to get past that. And that's something I am still learning. And I feel like, I don't want to say it's always going to be a struggle, but I feel like it'll get better as time goes on. But just to know that like I can do this, like I'm qualified and I got the degree and experience. So it's a learning
Oh,
process.
that's great. That's awesome. And for me, my biggest challenge was two things. One, kind of getting out of my old habits into finding myself, if that makes sense. So yeah, yeah, it's kind of weird to say. So it was that, and also kind of finding myself outside of, well, finding my own stuff outside of like the perception of what my friends expected from me, or just what people expected from me in general. And the reason why I say that is because one, I've always kind of been the type of person that planned my life out, and I really had to. Well, this year really taught me to get out of that and kind of take a leap of faith. This year was really my worst year ever, personally for me, because I had to really find what is it that or how was I really going to execute my long-term goal as far as like career-wise and things like that. So yeah, that was the biggest challenge, and the lesson I learned from that was to definitely take the leap of faith. That's how I got this job here. So yeah, and then that, and then also trying to find myself, well, trying to like get out of what the perception of what my friends kind of perceive me to be and what people perceive me to be, and just be Trey. So that was that was my
You don't think we
biggest
see you
challenge.
as Trey?
Huh?
What do you think we see you as?
So it's kind of like, I think that people, not just my friends, just kind of everybody in general, see me as being just successful and just so perfect, and I don't go through like depression and things like that. But in actuality, I'd be pissed the fuck off, like dead
Oh.
ass. Like, like I said, this year was really my worst year ever. But I can understand why people would think that, because I don't show that side of me.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say that.
So yeah, I really don't show that side of me, because I've always been the type of person to where it's like, I would rather you see me, you know, going through those successful moments as opposed to seeing the steps I took to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's been me and my biggest challenge. So yeah, go ahead, LadiiNova.
I was gonna say, now that you said that, that is another one for me, because I've started to let those walls down. Like, times before we were supposed to record and we just check in with each other before we do so, and I just let it all out with y'all, and that's not something that I've ever done. I've started to let my parents in more, because at times they do see me and it's like, oh, you're doing good regardless of what you think, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just not talking to y'all about it. Like, I'm losing my mind over here. Like, I'm trying not to cuss people out at work. I'm doing the best I can not to run over people because I'm mad. I'm over here trying not to be on some thug life, gang shit, and be selling because I'm stressed out. Like, I'm just trying. And everybody's like, oh, you're good. And it's like, honey, no, I'm not. It's like,
yeah. And I mean, like, yeah, and that's literally what it has been like for me. And I'm this, but yeah. So to go into my last question for you guys, going into the new year. And I know this question is very cliche, but what is your ultimate goal for the new year? What is that you're trying to accomplish? It could be small, it could be big. What's next for y'all? Go ahead, Miss Dashia.
So, at the start of this week, I found myself feeling very bleh. I don't have a word for it. That's just, just bleh. And I didn't know why. And I found myself being very irritated with people. And I couldn't understand why. And so finally I started to really sit and think about it and realize that I am lacking balance in my life, like work-life balance specifically. My work just requires a lot of me. And so I find myself coming home doing case notes and treatment plans. By the time I'm done, it's 9-10 o'clock at night. And what time do I have for myself? And then trying to include, making sure that I include time for people who I care about. You know what I mean? It can be draining because I'm also an introvert. And so I need time to myself to recharge. So I think in the new year, I want to figure out work-life balance and how to make intentional time for myself to recharge so that I can be my complete self, you know, in each aspect of my life. And also, I really want to do a vision board for the new year. Even if I do it by myself, I really want to do a vision board. And I want to title it, I think, Getting Too Happy. Because I think that there are certain things that I'm okay with in my life currently, but there are some things that I want to take a deeper look at and figure out, you know, what makes me happy? What is it that I need to add or set aside time for in my life? So those are the two things: work-life balance and my Getting to Happy vision board.
Cool. Miss LadiiNova, what is your big plans for the new year and also new decade?
it's real simple. New year, new me.
Oh, Lord.
You trying to go to the gym and lose weight?
Cancel. That's out. I don't need to lose nothing because I can guarantee you I'm probably at a nice 102. Probably not even that. Probably drop down 97 again because the new year is two things. I really just want, number one, I want to and I have to just live more. I have been stuck in the same spot of just working to pay bills and to manage to keep my head above water. And
Listen,
for other people, it's just like, oh, that's good, you're doing good. And it's like, no, I'm legit on my lunch breaks, like doing math of what I just got paid, what I can get from the next week's check and the week after that, what bills to pay off, and then if I can treat myself to Buffalo Wild Wings or something, if it's in the budget, if I got to pay another bill. Like, that's been my life. I don't have, like, I already don't party like that, but just to go out and be able to come see one of you guys, chill, have a few drinks, be there for a weekend. I don't do it. I did not do the whole spring break trips or any of that. And I'm 24. Like, I've just gotten to a place where I work, go to bed, do homework, get up and do it all over again. Like, I am not living. So next year, I have to live because this is blowing my high. And I think that's another reason why I've been in like a state of depression, because it's the same routines in and out, and I'm seeing the same places in and out. And I just need somewhere else to like breathe and chill. And I would think the next thing in me living would be coming out of my shell more. And with doing that, I feel like it'll help me on my next step of my career, which is my writing, because I've lagged off in that like a whole lot. So I really want to keep the ball rolling on my writing for next year and not have it be one of these things where I'm talking about it for years and years and years and I have nothing to show for it. I have nothing out, whether it's on a blog or an actual hard copy book, an ebook. I have to do something. So those are my two things for the new year.
It's Cassondra.
So y'all, this is what's creepy about it. And I swear to God, me and Dashia did not talk at all, period. But that is exactly what I was going through this week. When I said I was so irritable, so stressed out, I had to apologize to my co-teacher yesterday because I told her, I was like, I know I've been cranky. I know I've been snappy, and I'm sorry. And last night, I sat down and I was like, why am I so frustrated? Like, what is happening? I literally worked for a month straight, like no days off, waking up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, tired. I've been so cranky, so exhausted. And me and Chad barely had time for each other. And he always says, oh, it's fine, you're making money, but that doesn't always mean everything. Like, you still gotta live. And I literally didn't have me time at all, period. Like, it was always, I gotta go, I gotta babysit, I gotta work at the church, I gotta work my full-time job. I'm always doing something. I'm always on somebody's job. And literally last night I was like, I have to stop. So today that's why I took the rest of the day off. I had an appointment this morning, but I was like, no, I just need a full day to myself. And that's exactly what I did. I laid on this couch and I never left the house after that. Like, I literally need a day. And so I think that's one thing that I really need to do, is to make time for myself. And I mean, I love what I do. I love working. I love babysitting, but it's tiring. And then I become cranky and take it out on everybody around me. So that's one of my goals. And then my second goal is to be successful with my business. Like I said, I've already started it, but I do want to like get the ball rolling and have it. But like I said, do that and still make time for myself.
Oh,
Tre'Dub.
self-care. I like that a lot, Cassondra. That's literally everything I got from what you just said. So me, alongside self-care, my biggest goal this year is to definitely continue to find my own self outside of friends, outside of family, and definitely also to brand myself as a graphic designer. especially in a city like this where there's so many opportunities to network, so many opportunities to get to meet like so many influential people in the business world. So I definitely want to increase my skills, one, and definitely brand myself into becoming, well, I would say making my mark here in Atlanta. So that's really my main goal going into the new year. And then, well, that's one. And then my other one is to definitely travel more. So yeah, I'm really excited to do that, and I'm just so excited to see. I'm just so excited to look into my future and kind of see what happened. Not just my future, but everyone else's, because I love everyone in this little podcast right now. I really do, and I'm just so excited. Yes, I'm really excited to see what everyone has up their sleeves. So I will say that this is our don't you guys forget, this is our season finale. We will be returning at the beginning of February, so do not forget to tune in, and also let us know like what are your plans for the new year, and also let us know like what was your biggest challenge this year, what was your greatest accomplishment, and all of that. Feel free to comment and let us know what's going on with you guys.
One quick thing that I was going to say before we stop recording is that a trend that I recognize with all of us talking was like burnout and us chasing the next thing. Like, what am I going to do next with school, with career, love lives, whatever the case may be. And I want us to be careful because I know that our podcast is Young Black Millennials. And we are in this space, specifically when you're in your 20s, where you're just trying to figure it out. But I don't want us to get caught up in figuring it out and then burning ourselves out and forgetting to take care of ourselves, like Cassondra said. So I think if you are one of us, like similar to us, where you're just trying to figure things out, you feel very stressed out, I would say take it a day at a time. Pull on those who are in your corner, who care about you. Don't try to take on all of these burdens by yourself. And then also trying to be intentional about what you make time for and what you include in your space. That's all.
And that's some real stuff from real. That is seriously some real stuff for real. So I really appreciate her saying that. So, tune in with us. Well, next year. So comment,
like,
subscribe,
and guess that's all the way up.
Happy New Year to everybody. Peace out. We'll see you next year.